What's going on, Dragon Ballers? We're here with another deck profile with a top 16 participant in the main event yesterday at ARG Springfield. What's your name, man, and how'd you do?
My name is James Seegers. I placed 13th out of Swiss. Did pretty good.
Excellent, man. So what deck did you play, and why'd you play it?
I was playing set 6 Gogeta. I've been playing this deck set 6 come out. Overall, it's very strong. It gains a lot of card advantage and can put a lot of pressure on your opponents.
So real quick before we get into the deck, I mean, a lot of people like this deck, but a lot of people don't play it. So what are like the easy and tough matchups real quick?
Overall, it doesn't have too terrible of matchups against anything really. I went X1 and 2 out of Swiss, and the only deck I lost to was Janemba, and I consider the losses mainly to my own mistake and not the deck itself.
And what were your draws? Curious.
I drew twice against Super Shenron.
Okay, and what were you remember your wins?
I won once against the Shenron Broly, against Danny Hype against his Super Shenron build.
Okay.
Another Gogeta build, which was a bit awkward, and he was using the game promo leader and not this one.
Okay.
And then everything else was just like random stuff.
Any reason you like this leader better than the game promo?
Yes. Well, the game promo can awaken at 5 life. This one on its unawakened side just gets you so much card advantage, being able to discard 1 red Vegeta or 1 red Goku and drawing 2 and taking a life. So it has self-awaken built in, and then just it's +2.
Okay, very cool. Let's see the deck.
All right, so we'll start off with the super combo, which is a main difference what people might not know. I run 4 support attacks Sun Goten. I run some overroam in the deck, so just having this to get there because you get to 4 life very quickly in this deck, so it's just live all the time.
Very cool.
Then we'll start off with the 1-drops. We won 4 Sun Goku Prep and Perfusion. It's standard for this Gogeta build.
Right.
Same thing, 4 Vegeta. These are your main aggro tools. One of the big differences, I'm not playing the 6 and the 8-drop in the main board.
Okay.
So these are how you poke in damage. You're constantly just swinging, gaining advantage off their top 3 cantrip, and just swinging.
So do you feel like that maybe the 6 and 8-drop package is too slow for the format?
It is a little too slow, and turn 4, you have no untap in the deck, so you're committing to that play, and if you don't kill them with that, it's easy for them to turn the game on you.
Right.
4 intensifying power Trunkses. Overall, in terms of 1-drops, this was the MVP because just being able to assist in the self-awakening and critical, people have to respect this card immediately because I'm also running Champas with this. So many times today, probably like 4 times, I would swing with this. They would say no negates, and I'd be like, okay, take the life, and then Champa on it and combo with the super combo, and it's a 35 double strike crit, and it just puts so much pressure on your opponents.
It's pretty dope.
Continuing on with the Gokus and Vegetas. 4 Preemptive Strike allows you to search out your Gogetas later. It's pretty standard. Returns to the hand and it becomes a 15k. 2 Preemptive Strike Vegetas. This card overall, I actually played this more than the Goku in tournament because of the -5 ability, Ignoring Barrier. This can hit a lot of those 1-drop just counter cards.
Kid Goku, Wii Sporgos.
Exactly. Yeah. It came in just clutched in a lot of games.
Yeah, I always find the Vegetas better than Gokus for sure.
Yep. Then onto the 3-drops, we have 3 Harmonic Energy Super Saiyan Blue Sun Gokus and 2 Vegetas. This is a big beater overall. It allows you to search out, which if you hit the Vegeta, you get the most value out of it because you have something that can be a form of removal as well. And not only that, it has an activate main where he gains 10k and can attack cards that are in active mode, and that comes into play sometimes. And this, against the blue matchup, is one of the best cards you can have because you can -10 the Goku ignoring his barrier, and then it doesn't get its auto activated. So not only do they lose the cards in the drop, they don't get the energy boost.
And you can hit like striving to be the best too, right?
Exactly.
Would you ever consider bumping this up maybe?
Potentially. It never really came into play too often in Swiss, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Gotcha.
And now we're going to move on to the really big pressure cards. 4 Deku Contents Under Pressure. It's a free swing. Free 15k, so it puts pressure on awakened leaders as well, and a lot of pressure against unawakened because they have to either discard 2 cards to not take the life, or they're just taking it. And then you also get your pieces back afterwards, so you're not really losing too much besides a card.
Very cool.
Here's one of the main differences. I run 2 Veku the Fragile. It's an additional swing and also a form of spot removal, being able to -10 your opponent's non-barrier cards. So if they have a big Broly on board, you can use this to -10 and still put pressure on. So overall, it's pretty good.
Cool.
And then for another Super Shenron card, 3 Veku Triumphant Might. This card literally just wins you the game against Super Shenron most of the times. The games I lost or tied against Super Shenron, I didn't see this. And most of the time I played this turn 1 and the Super Shenron players just started to frown. Because
I love this card so much because it's not affected by Crisis Crusher. You ever feel like, you think in this format you need to play 4 mandatory or what?
You don't need to play 4 mandatory, but you need at least 3. If you start to see a lot more Super Shenrons than just like your locals, or I would still bump it. I would think about siding 1 at the very minimum, but I didn't have the 4th one, so just 3.
Gotcha.
And now for the one Gogeta I do play, 3 of the game promo. This card was my main finisher, and it won me probably half my games today.
Sweet.
A lot of people weren't respecting it because maybe they didn't know about it, or they just didn't think how strong this is. This is pretty much just the height of mastery right here. It's a triple strike dual attack, and you play it for 4.
That is actually exactly height of mastery with Path of Greatness. That's so funny.
Exactly.
I don't actually remember how it works. Can this thing be hit by Preemptive Strike?
It can technically be hit by preemptive strike, so you do have to watch out for that.
Okay.
Because it's reducing the cost by 4.
Right.
So when you're playing it, it's technically a 4-drop. So if they do have the preemptive strike, just be aware of that. But besides that, nuts.
Good to know. Appreciate it.
Then 3 Champa. This card, it's Champa. You have to play it. It allows you to put a lot of pressure, and they have to respect it consistently. If they do not, it's free wins.
Real quick question. What's the turn you want to awaken in this deck?
I'm generally awakening by turn 2, but you can do it by turn 3 if you're playing against a lot slower of an opponent matchup, such as Janemba.
Very cool.
Onto the Overwhelm card, 2 Scientist Fu. The entire point of this deck is to gain card advantage over your opponent, and this card just aids in that. There's been times where my opponent's at 6 life. I want 2 more cards. Let's just play Fu for 1 energy. And he does that. And you get cards into your drop fairly quickly, too, because 1 on your unawakened side, you discard cards, and plus you'll be comboing away, and sometimes you'll use the Veku just to put more cards into the drop, and then just to play Fu. So, that's card.
Very cool.
Then, onto my only, it's the only negate you need in this deck overall. I considered playing 2 Is That All You Got, but I booted those out to the sideboard.
Yeah, no, this card really wrecks like Victory Strike, Height of Mastery.
This game saved me against Super Shenron every single game we drew in, because they would play Height of Mastery. I would Afterimage Technique, combo out, they would take their additional turn, and I would just play another Afterimage Technique. And it's what led to the draws, but...
Yeah, I love how you can use that card against Victory Strike. It's so clutch.
It's so amazing. Onto the sideboard. 2 Is That All You Got? I didn't side this card in once. Actually, I didn't really use much of my sideboard at all this tournament, just because how solid the main board was. You just put so much pressure on every single type of deck there is, and they really have to side against you, and not really many people were siding against this matchup.
Did you just not face the matchups where this card would have been good in?
Yes. What I would have thought this would have been good in is decks that go really, really wide, like Agents of Destruction. I think this card would be a better negate, because turn 3, when they go off, you can negate the triple strike and then lower the agents by 15,
right,
and it makes them useless for the turn, and then you can just kill them the next turn. So, very solid card.
Cool.
For the Broly matchup, 4 Bardock Fully Unleashed.
4, that matchup's kind of hard, huh?
It can be kind of hard, because while they are putting pressure on you, you're putting equal amounts of pressure on them. And if they get the 6 drop out or the 8 drop out, you can just use this as a form of spot removal and a 25k swing. Or you can use it to bait out their Bloodlust, which is just nuts.
Can also be clutch, yeah.
Yep. The card I didn't see against Janemba in the final round, unfortunately, Tien. I only have this for the Janemba matchup, so you can slow them down and put a lot of pressure on them. It's unfortunate in the last round that what prevented me from topping is that I didn't see these when I needed them. If I would have saw them, I believe it probably would have won that match.
Yeah.
Then, for the more Janemba and Control-y, I do run the 6-drop and the 8-drop on the side.
Love the SPRs.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful SPRs. The reason I would side these in is for the more controller, slower pace matchups where I can really get the burn in, because if they're slow, you start taking life slower, and when you tap out turn 4 to play this, you're not worried about them really killing you. Because you'll have the card advantage over them, you can combo out of what they're going to do and potentially burn them twice. Another thing why I lost my last matchup is I made a mistake where I swung with 6 before activating leader ability. The leader ability stops them from playing Mafuba because it counters 2 or more. And I got over anxious and I swung, and then they Mafuba this, and I was like, okay.
That's super unfortunate. Yeah, yep. One thing I want to bring up is a lot of people don't realize that this leader effect is optional to take a life. Yeah, on the unawakened side. Yeah,
that's one of the big things too. So if they put you down to 4, you can still activate the draw 2 and then awaken, draw another card, and then swing for overall a +3. And if you can activate to draw the life, then awaken, it's a +4. So the card just gets you so much card advantage.
Excellent, man. Very cool deck. Any final shout outs? Any notes about the event?
Shout out to Eric Christensen. He helped me put this together. While I had the main board, he helped me make the final decisions of taking these out and putting in the game promos. And that overall just helped me put so much pressure on so many more opponents. Shout out to the guys at Qstown. You guys are amazing and helped me put this together as well. And that's it.
Excellent, man. Thank you so much, and have a good one.
Yep.